Hello and welcome back to another online content. How are you doing, guys? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Today we are going to be talking about April celebrations. Yeah, but didn't we talk about April Fools already? Yeah, we did, but we're going to be talking about some other weird celebrations, usually stuff that they do in the United States. And we have some crazy stuff that they like to celebrate over there. So let's take a look. Today we will see words in action, all the celebrations. We have 5 that we're going to be taking a look today. And we're going to have talk time. There's no watching for understanding today, as I'm going to be doing most of the explaining. All right? Very good. So to begin, words in action. Once again, we have some new words here that you guys might not have heard of. And to begin, we're going to talk about, midwife. What is a midwife? It's a wife in the middle. What is that? A midwife is a woman. It can be a man as well, but it's usually a woman who delivers babies. So in Portuguese would be parteira, right? It's the woman that delivers babies. It's called a midwife. Chaos. What is chaos? Just in Portuguese, right? It means no order. It means that everything just around the place. And I just put that in so you guys could see how it's pronounced. We pronounce it chaos. Chaos. Then we have anger. Anger is pronounced with a hard G. It's not anger, it's anger. And so when you get angry, right, it's a bad feeling. To sink. What does it mean to sink? Like when a ship goes down, just like that one over there. Exactly. That's what it means to sink. So that ship sunk, right? And then we have unsinkable. What is unsinkable? It's something that doesn't sink. So if you paid attention back there, you saw that we're going to be talking about the Titanic. It was an unsinkable ship. Then we have up there to slap. To slap. All right, to slap is to use your hand to hit something, right? We have to raise, which means to make something higher, to make it taller, to raise something. Environment, which is what we all have to protect, our world, the trees and the weather. That's all part of the environment. In Portuguese, meio ambiente, right? I think we've seen that already. And then we have wacky. Wacky means crazy. It's something a little weird. It's wacky. Ooh, I would say I am a little wacky. Very good. So celebrations, right? These that we're going to see, they're all celebrations. They are not necessarily holidays, but they are celebrated. People do celebrate them in some way, shape, or form. They celebrate all these dates that we're going to talk about. So let's take a look, right? Let's take a look at some celebrations. First one is the World Health Day. It is sponsored by the World Health Organization. I think you all know that name pretty well these days. And they started the World Health Day so people would take better care of themselves. So people would take care of their health and celebrate everything related to health. So that's why that doctor up there is telling you to wash your hands. That's just a reminder. So wash your hands. It's celebrated always on April 7th. So it was celebrated a while ago, but it's something that happens every year on the same day. And this year it celebrated nurses and midwives, right? It was just a second, look. It is actually spelled midwives. Let's take care with that because we don't use F. When a word ends in F or FE, the plural ends in V, midwives. Okay? Very good. And this year, it celebrated nurses and midwives. We can even see this is the banner that's on the World Health Organization website. This is if you go to their website right now, you'll see that this is what they have up there, right? Celebrating all the nurses, and a big thank you to them, especially in these hard times, right? Very hard times, and nurses help deal with all of that. Moving on to, we have some useful expressions. This is special because I'm doing useful expressions according to each celebration, okay? So to start here, we have two, which is to suck. I just watched the new Star Wars movie. It sucks. So it means it's bad. I didn't like it. It sucks. A lot of teens like using this. Usually when you say that something is very bad. And thumbs down is basically when you do what our friend Simon is doing over there. Just thumbs down. You have thumbs up. Thumb is this finger right here. And thumbs down, which is usually when you don't like something as well. Now it sucks. Thumbs down. Okay, it's when you don't like something. All right, to suck, thumbs down. Moving on. That sucks day. Yeah, so we have a that sucks day. Basically, it's a celebration of a day when things do not work out, right? So it was created by a guy called Bruce Novotny. He lives in the United States, and he has a website called thatsucks.net. I'll show that in a second. So it's a website where people just talk about things that suck, that are not very good. It's usually celebrated on April 15th. And it celebrates frustration, chaos, sarcasm, anger, mediocrity, etc. So let's say all these words. These are important words. So say it with me. Frustration. Frustration. Important. We have two R's there. Frustration. Chaos. Look at the chaos back there. Chaos. Sarcasm. Sarcasm. Yeah, you pronounce it. There was a little A there between the S and the M. Sarcasm. Anger. Look at the anger. Anger. And mediocrity. Mediocrity. So things that are just, yeah, it's mediocre. Right? So it celebrates all these things because not only, it's not just because something is bad that it has to feel bad. Sometimes you can celebrate something that isn't very good, that is bad. Okay, and this is their website. This is what it looks like. I would say that website sucks, right? It's not a very good website. It looks very old, and that's why people say it sucks. It's kind of old. If you look at there in the corner there, you can see that it started in 2005, 2007, so it's a little old, but it still has a lot of fun stuff. I recommend you guys take a look at it. And this is my personal recommendation. If you like websites that talk about sucky situations that suck, I would recommend fmylife.com. It's all about stories of people who had things go wrong for them. So situations with their husbands and wives and with their boyfriends and girlfriends, sometimes with their objects at home. My bike broke in the middle of class. I don't know, like funny things, usually in bad situations. Go to fmylife.com. It's a very funny website. Moving on, we go to Titanic Remembrance Day. What is Titanic Remembrance Day? It's exactly as it sounds. It's a day to remember the Titanic. It's celebrated on April 15th, which is the day the Titanic sank in 1912, even though the sink was called unsinkable. People didn't think the Titanic could sink. But alas, it did. And 1,500 people died. So it's a lot of people. And that's why we remember that day as a way to not forget all these people, right? So it's why we remember the Titanic. And a fun fact is that although the Titanic hit the iceberg before midnight on the 14th, it sank in the early hours of the 15th. That's why we celebrate the Titanic on April 15th, as well as our previous That Sucks Day. So we have a lot of different days to celebrate, I guess. Next, we go on to, another useful expression, high five. I got the job. Yeah, high five. So a high five is what those guys are doing right there, right? So it's a high five. Is when you're very happy, and then you see your friend, and then you get a high five. You slap your hands together. You raise your hands, and then you slap them. So that's where the raise and slap from words in action come from. That's a high five. And then we have National High Five Day. I would say that's one of the best celebrations ever. So it's celebrated on the third Thursday in April. So this month, that means it was celebrated on the third Thursday. So it was on the 16th. This year it landed on April 16th. What else do we know about High Five Day? It's an unofficial holiday. Like, not a lot of people celebrate it, but a lot of people online and around the world like to do High Five Day, National High Five Day. It's not just Americans. A lot of people around the world like to do High Five Day. Fun fact, high fives exist since the 1970s, but the date was created in 2002 by college students. It was, if I recall correctly, it was after a basketball game, and the students just wanted to do something cool, and then they just created the holiday and started to spread it online, talk to people, and then so people would start celebrating High Five Day. I think that's awesome. I think it's great when people want to just be happy and celebrate something. And it is just as simple as it sounds. People, whenever you see someone, just high five them. If you see a friend, high five them as much as you want. High five. Yeah, very good. Actually, don't high five me. You might break your phone if you're watching this at a phone or a TV. Don't high five the screen, please. But this is High Five Day. And they actually have, well, they even have a website. Yeah, it's this year they changed it to virtual High Five Days. So people don't, go around touching other people. So this is virtual High Five Day. So this year they actually just went virtual, so people are not in the street touching other people. Okay, moving on to Earth Day. This is one of the big ones. It's celebrated on the 22nd of April, so just a few days ago. And it's a day to celebrate the Earth and take care of it. And it was created in 1962 by United States Senator Gaylord Nelson. Yes, that is his name, Gaylord. That's an actual name, Gaylord Nelson. And it started slow. It didn't receive a lot of support until 1970. And after that, it actually got recognition by the UN, even though it's not the same as International Earth Day. It may be celebrated on different days. This year, it actually fell on the same day. And the UN, the United Nations, actually defined it International Earth Day in 1971. So just 1 year after the US Earth Day got its recognition, right? So it took a year, and then the UN started doing their own version of Earth Day. And it changes sometimes. It happens during the beginning, if I recall correctly, it's the winter equinox, which is just from the middle to late. I think it's the end of winter when we start getting into spring. So that's when they start Earth Day. It's a little different from our equinox because we usually celebrate spring in late September, but in the North Hemisphere, it starts during late March and early April. All right. Very good. And those have been some weird celebrations that happened in April. I am going to give you guys, this is the website. I'm sorry, this is the website for Earth Day for the United Nations. This is, if you go to the United Nations Earth Day, this is what we will see. If you go to the website right now, UN Earth Day, you will see that this is what their website looks like right now. And moving on, it's time to talk. It's talk time. I ask you guys, what do you think of these celebrations? They're very weird. Lots of celebrations over there, right? And there are many, many more. I'll show you a website. I'll send you guys a website with many other types of celebrations. They celebrate so many weird things. We can talk about it in the group, okay? Number 2, which one would you like to celebrate? Out of these that we just saw, which ones would you actually like to celebrate? I think my favorite is High Five Day. I think it's my favorite. Just go around high-fiving people. Not these days. You got to wash your hands and stay at home, right? And do you know of any wacky celebration days? Any weird, crazy celebrations? Tell me in the group. See if you can find something online and tell me in the group. I'd love to know more about some other weird celebrations. Let's review real quick. Today we saw words in action, some celebrations. We saw Health Day, That Sucks Day, Titanic Remembrance Day, High Five Day, and Earth Day. And talk time. And I'm afraid that's it. Let's just give you some reminders. Stay tuned for the CRA instructions because they're very important. Remember to do your homework, do the activity. I'll make the link available to you guys so you can go ahead and answer the questions because this homework counts as attendance. And I love hearing what you guys have to say to all those questions. All right, that's it for today. It was lovely having you guys here. I see you guys in our next online content. A big hug, not presential of course, but a big hug, and I hope to see you guys next week. For now, that's it. This is Mr. Vítor signing out. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.